Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to our Tuesday morning, October 1st meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. My name is Andy Hunthausen. To my left, Commissioner Tom Rolfe. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Brandy Spangler, who will be taking care of us today. Good morning, Brandy. To my right, Commissioner Candace Payne.
Good morning.
Nico Hash, Deputy County Attorney, and Roger Baltz, our Chief Administrative Officer. Good morning, gentlemen. We will start today. Well, we normally would start with consent action items, but we don't have any today. So, Mr. Baltz, you're off the hook. Next item on the agenda is, well, before I do that, I remind you that there is a sign-in sheet in front as well as agendas. Please sign in prior to leaving today so we have a good record of who's attended today. So next item on the agenda is a grant award to Lewis and Clark County from the Montana Disaster and Emergency Services. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. I'm Kyle Sturgill-Simon, Emergency Manager for Lewis and Clark County. Before you is acceptance of the EMPG, which is the Emergency Management Preparedness Grant Award in the amount of $70,500. This is a 50-50 grant, so our match is another $70,500 in kind. This goes towards our program, pay for salary and benefits for the two personnel in the emergency management program.
Great. And longstanding, normal way that the disaster and emergency services programs are funded across the state.
Yep, correct. This is a grant that we apply for every year. There's a slight difference this year in how it's awarded. They're actually using some ARPA funds from 2021 to supplement our award. So the grant award itself says EMPG 2021 ARPA instead of the usual EMPG 24. But other than that, it's the same.
Yeah, great. Any questions, Commissioners, about this grant award? Okay. How about public comment on this item? Any public comment? Public comment. All right, hearing none. Is there a motion, please, Commissioners?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the grant award to Lewis and Clark County from Montana Disaster and Emergency Services as presented by Mr. Kyle Sturgill-Simon.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Moved and seconded to approve the grant award as presented. Further discussion, Commissioners? Just thank you, Al. Really appreciate it. And
I do have one question. You're referring to the ARPA money from 2021? Wasn't there a cutoff date that we had to spend that by?
This is, I think, the state ARPA money.
Yeah, so this is state funding, Commissioner. The usual EMPG award, Homeland Security's budget in general had a 9% cut across the board for this funding year. And so the state office is offsetting that cut with some ARPA funding that they still have available to them. And I think their requirements are different than ours at the county for using those funds. Next year, it should be back to normal.
But either way, I think the ARPA funds have to be obligated by the end of December 2024 and then spent by the end of 2026.
Okay, so this fits within all those criteria.
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, thank you. No more.
And these are not county ARPA funds. These are state ARPA funds.
ARPA is something you don't want to be messing around with the rules, so.
Thank you very much. And all I was going to say there at the end is appreciate you bringing it forward. And again, this is how we have funded at least a portion of your programming and salaries for as long as I've been here. So.
Yeah, and actually on a nice note, for the last 2 years now, we've been able to maximize the amount of funding that we've used. So we've used every last cent of this grant for the last 2 years.
Great.
Plan to
Thank
keep
you very
doing
much.
so.
Appreciate your work. All right, Commissioners, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right. Next item on the agenda is a grant application to the Federal Bureau of Justice Assistance. Good morning and welcome. Yeah.
Good morning, Commissioners. Sherri Martin from the Sheriff's Office.
And Captain Kevin Wright from the Sheriff's Office as well.
Welcome.
The item is a grant application for the Federal Bureau of Justice Assistance. This is applied for through the City of Helena. We get a portion of it to pay for our investigator with the Missouri River Drug Task Force. And the amount is $11,574.
Great. And this is just a grant application at this point.
Correct. It's one we've done forever.
Right. Right. Okay. Thank you. Questions, commissioners? So I'll ask a question just about, so some people, I mean, we're very familiar with this. I'm very familiar with this, but assuming that someone watching today isn't very familiar with it. So we would take this grant or help pay for an investigator on the Missouri River Drug Task Force, and they work with the entire task force to assist in the investigations and the processes and all of that. Anything
Correct.
else you want to add?
You want to
to
make?
that? That's about sums it up. Okay.
Yeah, there's 7 counties that are involved.
Right. I try to imagine there's someone out there watching that's the first time they've ever heard of it. So give a little bit of context there. So thank you very much. Okay. Any other questions, commissioners, about this grant application? Thank you. How about public comment on this item? Any public comment? Any public comment? Okay. Hearing none, commissioners, is there a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I would move to approve the grant application to the Federal Bureau of Justice Assistance as explained by Sherri Martin.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the grant application as presented. Further discussion, commissioners? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Okay, next item on the agenda is a subrecipient grant award to Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office from the JAG, or the Justice Assistance, Bureau of Justice Assistance. Is that the same? Oh, no, not the same. JAG, Edward Byrne Memorial Grant. You can explain it to us.
It is the same, but
Yeah, okay.
we're awarded the money through the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office. They did the application and we are a subrecipient of that. And we will get $40,294.16 and we will match it with $17,268.92. And this will also go towards the officer or the deputy for the Missouri River Drug Task Force.
Right, and this is a grant award, not a grant application.
Correct. They've already done the application.
And again, we work with 7 other counties in this effort and cities.
Correct. Seven counties.
And I think that Gallatin County is the lead administratively. Is that
They are. They take care of it all for us.
that's how we read it here as a subrecipient, right?
Yes, and
Okay.
then they quarterly, I bill them and they send us the money on a quarterly basis.
Great. Thank you very much. Commissioners, questions?
If I might, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
This kind of dovetails with the previous award.
Correct.
If I understand it correctly,
Correct.
to more fully fund the work that the Sheriff's Office is doing.
Correct.
Here with the Missouri River Task Force.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any
I
questions?
have a comment.
Oh, okay. We can do that now or after we make a motion if you'd like. Either way.
Do the motion.
Okay, great.
Oh, yes, I will do the motion. Chairman, I
Oh,
move.
we're gonna
Whoop,
public comment first.
better do. I'm
Yeah.
public. Oh,
You are, but we're gonna save you for your public comment in just a minute. How about public comment? Any public comment? Anything further from our presenters? Okay. Commissioner, floor is yours.
might I move?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the subrecipient grant award to Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office from the JAG Edward Byrne Memorial Grant as presented by Sherri Martin.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Moved and seconded to approve the subrecipient grant award as presented. Further discussion.
I
Commissioner.
wanted to thank Sherri Martin. I had some questions about some of the language and the way this contract kind of is laid out and flows and being the old lawyer that I am, I'm kind of nervous about the language. She got it under control for me. I'm comfortable with this. I appreciate her expertise and walking me through the best way to do this. Also, I believe I emailed with Nico Hash about some of my issues. So in the end, I've had a good explanation by our staff and I'm very comfortable with this now.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments? I just appreciate your efforts in looking under every leaf and rock and trying to understand it the best you can prior to getting here.
It's my job.
It is very
It's
good.
taxpayer money.
And I'm commending you for that.
All right.
Good work. All right. Anything further? Okay. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. All right. Next item on the agenda is board appointments. Mr. Baltz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This is item number 6 on the agenda today. You have the memo in your backup information. I'll read it into the record for your consideration. So these candidates meet the qualifications for consideration of the board that you're considering today, and it's Forest Vale Cemetery Board. Wendy Margera served a term that expired August 31, 2024. Wendy Margera wishes reappointment. No other applications were received. Action. Staff recommends the commissioners consider and select the candidate for the Forest Vale Cemetery Board to a term that will expire August 31, 2027. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Commissioners, questions, comments? How about public comment on this proposed appointment? Any public comment? Okay. Is there a motion, please, Commissioners?
Mr. Chair, I would move to approve the appointment of Wendy Majera, serve on the Forest Vale Cemetery Board.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the appointment as presented. Further discussion, Commissioners? Please.
I would, I think it's really important that our citizens recognize how important these volunteers are on, we've got a lot of boards and all of them are run by volunteers and they take time out of their busy days and they recognize the importance and something, you think the Forest Vale Cemetery, well, what in the heck could possibly go wrong out there? Well, if my mom and dad were buried there, or my grandparents, I'd want somebody making sure that the oversight that's needed. And this is part of taking care of our society. People, they don't live here anymore. They need somebody to look out for this, and it's something that we provide, and we do it through the kind services of our volunteers. So thank you, Wendy, for re-upping.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anything else? All right. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much. Okay, we are at that time in our meeting where we will take public comment on any item that is under the jurisdiction of the commission, but not on today's agenda. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing no public comment, seeing no public come forward, commissioners, thank you very much for a good meeting and we will stand adjourned.